High in the mountains of a forgotten land,
there was a village known for one peculiar thing. Every night,
the wind carried music down the slopes. The melodies were soft, haunting, and no one in the village knew where they came from. Some said it was the mountain itself sighing. Others whispered that spirits played ancient instruments in caves no human dared to enter. Among the villagers lived a curious boy named Errol, while others were content to sit by their fires and listen from afar.
he longed to discover the source. One evening, when the moon rose silver and full,
Errol took a lantern, a loaf of bread, and his courage, then set off up the winding paths. The higher he climbed, the clearer the music grew.
it wasn't only a song, it was many voices woven together, as though strings, flutes, and bells danced in harmony.
The sound seemed alive, guiding his steps through forests and rocky bridges until he reached the mouth of a cave lit faintly from within.
Inside, Errol expected to find people or perhaps strange instruments.
Instead, he discovered crystals. Hundreds of them jutted from the walls and ceiling, flowing with pale light. When the wind passed through the cave, the crystals resonated, producing the music that had enchanted the valley for centuries. Each gust plucked a different note, and together the mountain sang.
Awed, Errol touched one crystal, and it shimmered under his hand. At once, the music shifted, as if the mountain had noticed him.
The sound grew warmer, more playful, wrapping around him like a greeting. He realized the cave wasn't only an instrument, it was alive.
Listening and responding.
Errol returned to the village at dawn, breathless with his discovery. The elders were skeptical, yet when he led them to the cave, they too heard the mountain's voice and saw the glowing crystals. From that day, the villagers stopped fearing the nightly music. Instead, they began climbing to the cave to sit in silence, listening to their mountain song.
But Errol learned something deeper when he touched a crystal.
The music changed, reflecting his heart.
If he was joyful, the cave played bright and soaring notes. If he was sorrowful, the tones softened to mournful echoes. The mountain, he understood, mirrored the soul.
Years passed, and Errol became known as the listener of the mountain.
People from distant lands traveled to hear the cave's symphony.
But only he could coax it into different melodies. And though he grew old, his heart remained young. For each night the mountain sang not only to the village, but to him its chosen companion, the boy who had once followed a song into the unknown.